back to my channel. So this is a really scary sight to greet you guys with for today's video, but I wanted to do a talk through type of video because a lot of you guys have been asking for these type of videos, just more in-depth makeup tutorials where I'm explaining what I'm doing with each and every step. So these types of videos are really helpful to me, so I hope this one will help you out if you're just new to makeup and want to slowly dip your toes in but don't really know where to start. So I hope that this talk through video will help you out. So I'm really excited for this video because I'm going to be using all drugstore products, including the tools that I'll be using. I know I've been doing a lot of high-end makeup looks as well as makeup reviews, and I don't want you guys to think that I only use high-end stuff. I use a lot of drugstore products every single day. It's not that I'm snobby with makeup or that I only use higher-end makeup products. I just do more reviews on higher-end stuff because you're going to be spending a lot of money on one makeup product, so I want to review it and tell you guys whether it's worth the money or not before you go and waste your money on it. Whereas if you buy something from the drugstore and you don't like it, you can always return it, or it costs you about $5 to $10, so it's not a complete waste of money and it won't kill your wallet. That's why I do more product reviews for higher brand makeup products. It's not because I don't love drugstore products or that I don't use drugstore products. So enough of my rants, let's get started on this makeup look. I think that we're going to be going for a very kind of everyday glowy spring and summer look. So this isn't going to be anything too heavy or too dramatic makeup wise. So our skin is going to be really fresh and dewy. I'm going to be playing with some of the City Color highlighting products that they sent over, and I'm really excited because I love City Color makeup products. I just want to keep this makeup look very fresh and simple for the spring and summertime where you want to look put together but you don't want to be wearing too much makeup. So to start off, I'm just going to apply like a lip balm or lip treatment to my lips just because they feel a little bit dry right now. So I'm going to be using the Milani Moisture Lock. This is their coconut oil infused lip treatment. A lot of people have been raving about this. I know that Katie or Luster Lux here on YouTube has been loving this product, and I've been wearing it for about maybe a week and a half and I like it. It's not too sticky or tacky on your lips, so it's really comfortable to wear, and it literally just smells like coconut all throughout the wear of this lip product. And I just love getting a whiff of it throughout the day. So while that's sinking in and doing its thing, I'm just gonna prime my eyes. I'm gonna use the Crown HD Effect Under Eye Primer, and obviously it's in the name. This is supposed to be a primer for your under eyes just to make your concealer go on a little bit smoother. I also like to just prime my eyelids with this. I find that it keeps my shadows on really nicely, makes them a little bit more pigmented, and it just provides a really smooth base for my entire eye, so I can put concealer, eyeshadow, whatever I need to put on my eyes. So I'll just dot this on my eyes, and I'll also apply this where it's supposed to go, which is the under eyes. It has that silicone slick feel to it like most eye primers do, but it doesn't break me out. You guys know I'm allergic to silicone products. So this is a really nice primer. It goes on really smooth and it sets really quickly, which is what I really love. So for today's eye look, I'm thinking of just going with the Milani palette. I saw this palette just passing by the Milani display and I absolutely fell in love with the color scheme of this palette. It's very warm and earthy and just so wearable and cozy looking. This kind of like burnt orange color reminds me a lot of the color Morocco from Anastasia, and it's one of my favorite eyeshadow colors ever. So to start off, I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This is the Pro Blending Crease Brush from Crown Brush. I'm just going to take this kind of muted mid-tone brown color and contour my eyes before I apply any lid color. I'm just going to use this as a transition color for my lids. I'm just going to apply this right into my crease and blend it up towards my brow bone. Most of the colors in this palette is really pigmented and really easy to blend out. So this is a really great quality eyeshadow palette, and I believe this was only $10 at my local CVS. These palettes are really great and really affordable. Next, I'm just going to take a smaller blending brush. This is a BH Cosmetics brush and it doesn't have any name on it. It's just a smaller, a little bit pointier, tapered blending brush. So I'm going to take this with the burnt orange color right here, take some of that on the brush, tap off the excess because it can get pretty dramatic and intense really easily with this palette. And I'm just going to put this right under that transition color, right into my crease, as well as blend it out on the outer corners to warm up this look and give it a really nice like warm glow. So next, I'm going to go into my City Color Highlight Trio palette. This is collection number 1, and I'm going to go in with that far right color. It's kind of a champagne beige color. And I'm just going to take this on a flat shader brush. This is the crown brush called the oval shadow brush. So I'm just going to take this color on the right. Actually, I'll just mix it with this middle color as well. Tap off the excess and put this lightly right onto my lid color just to give a little bit of dimension to this look, as well as brighten up the inner corners as well with this color. And then I'll just take my crease brush again with really no added products on it, just whatever's left over, and blend out that lid color so that there's no like harsh line of the shimmer color on our lids. So just lightly blend that out. And then I'm just going to take a bigger shader brush and going in with the middle color alone and just highlight my brow bone with this really lightly, just to give that area of my brow a little bit of a lift and a little bit of a glow. But this isn't too shimmery or glittery, so it gives a very natural glowy effect, which is why I really love these highlighter trios from City Color. And that's pretty much what I do for my eyes on a day-to-day basis, just to give myself a little bit of a glam eye look, but nothing too heavy or too over dramatic for the daytime. So I'm just going to apply some liner. I'm just going to use the Physician Formula Custom Eye Enhancing Eyeliner Trio. This is in the color Nude Eyes. I really love these Shimmer Trio eye pencils from Physician Formula. They're really creamy and really easy to blend out, because they don't set too quickly, but once they set, they're completely budge proof. So they're great for your tight line or waterline if you want to apply this pencil to those areas. I don't want this line to be too defined. I want it to look really smoky and effortless, just for an everyday wear. So I'll kind of wing it out slightly with whatever is on my brush, and then I'll really smudge this right into my lash line to make it look really natural. So I don't know if you guys can tell the difference between my two eyes. This one is just a little bit smokier and a little bit more defined, but it still looks really natural. So I'm just gonna even out the other side. I haven't done a talk through type of video in a few months now, I think. So it feels kind of weird to be doing my makeup and talking about it. I usually just speed through the process and list the products on the side for you guys. And it's always hard to judge which type of videos you guys like better. Some people just prefer to see what's happening and they're more visual learners, whereas other people find that if there's an explanation with the process, it makes it easier to learn and recreate the makeup looks. So it's always hard to tell which one I should do. But if I go too long without doing one of them, you guys always request for it. So it's just the time to do a talk through type of video on my channel. So that's pretty much it for our eyes. I'm just going to throw on some lashes. If I were to wear this for an everyday wear and just want a little bit of glam to my lashes, I'll use the Salon Perfect 110s. This is what they look like. These are incredibly natural and lightweight, and they feel really comfortable throughout the day. But I also love wearing the Ardell Demi Wispies just for a little bit more glam. These are of course a little bit more dramatic, but on the eyes they still look pretty natural. So I'm just going to throw the Demi Wispies on for today's video. I know you guys have been requesting for a how to apply false lashes video from me, but there are just so many great how-to videos for this subject alone that I feel like mine wouldn't really tell you guys anything any different. But if you guys still want me to film a how to apply false lashes video, I will definitely do so. So let me know if you want me to do that down in the comments below. So while the glue is drying and just getting a little tacky, I'm going to curl my lashes just so it helps blend my natural lashes to the falsies. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna apply my other side and I'll be right back. So while the lash glue is drying on my eyes, I'm gonna move on to my face and then we'll come back and finish with the rest of our eye look. So for the spring and summertime, I like my face makeup to look very fresh and dewy. I just want my skin to scream healthy and hydrated and just luminous. So I'm gonna do something that I've never really showed you guys, but it's something that I love to do when I want my skin to look even extra glowy. So first, I'm gonna take a cream highlighter. I love these City Color highlighting wand. They have 3 different colors, a golden tone, a more pearly white finish, and then a more pink champagne base highlighter. I'm gonna take the pink base one. This is called Blush Wine. With your cream or liquid highlighter, you're just gonna wanna put it right in the areas where you normally highlight. But because this is going to be under our foundation, it's going to give us an extra dewy, glowy look to our skin. So I'm just going to put this on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, as well as just a little bit on my chin. I really love this color. It gives such a dewy, glowy effect, and it's completely intense, so it's perfect to layer underneath or above your foundation. So I'm just going to blend this out on a damp beauty sponge. This is from Memebox. So I'm going to blend out that cream highlighter. So already our skin is glowing and very dewy. So I'm just going to quickly color correct certain areas of my face before I go in with foundation. So I'm just going to take the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD HD High Definition Concealer. This is in the color Nude. This color is very salmon based and has a lot of salmon and pinky undertones, which is great to cancel out the blueness and purple tones to my under eye circles, which are really bad today because I didn't sleep well last night. I'm also just going to apply this around my nose area, and then again with my sponge, just tap that right into my skin. I really love this concealer. It's very pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. I'm gonna do a mixture of 2 foundation. The first one I'm gonna apply is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer in the color 01 Creamy Vanilla. So I'm just gonna pump this like half a pump onto my fingers and just dot this all over my face. You guys know that I love this foundation because it's super full coverage, but it looks really natural and it lasts all day long. So this looks like a lot of product, but I promise it was literally a little bit less than half a pump. This foundation is just really high coverage, so even when I spread it out like this, it looks like a lot and I still have a lot on my finger. So I'm just gonna blend this in with my damp sponge. You can use a brush with this foundation, but because it is so thick and heavy, I feel like a damp sponge makes this look a lot more natural, because it kind of diffuses the pigmentation, but you're not losing any coverage. So it looks a lot more natural, but you're still getting all the coverage that this foundation is providing. So I don't know if you guys can still see it, but there is still that glow and that dewiness to the cream highlighter that we layered underneath this foundation. I find that if you put your cream highlighter underneath your foundation, that dewy effect looks even more natural. But of course, this is a summer glow makeup look, so we're going to apply more highlighter on top. So since the Milani foundation is more matte than it is dewy, I want this look to look very fresh and glowy and dewy. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation, and I'm in the color 3.5. I'm just going to take my makeup sponge, dip it very lightly into the Lumi foundation, and then apply this more so on my cheeks and down the center of my nose. I'm not going to apply this everywhere because I don't want to look too cakey, but just for an extra layer of coverage and dewiness. Also down the center of my nose and up right into the middle of my forehead. So I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but this side just looked a little bit more dewy and glowy as opposed to more matte on this side. And I'm literally not taking that much foundation from this compact. It's just very lightly dipping it in so that you pick up just a little bit of foundation, but not so much that it makes it look cakey. Don't forget to blend it into your ears and your hairline as well as your jaw. You don't want this to have any demarcation or looking crazy throughout the day. So that is it with foundation. I'm just gonna conceal my under eyes a little bit more. This is the NYX HD Concealer in the color CW4. I absolutely love this concealer. This is probably one of the best drugstore concealers, or concealers in general. It's super pigmented and it doesn't crease, and they have a great color selection. So I'm just going to turn my sponge around to the pointy end and blend out this concealer. It just really lifts and brightens my under eye area really nicely, but still looks really natural. So I'm just going to set my under eye concealer. I'm not going to set any other area of my face because I want that really dewy finish from the foundation to peek through. So I'm going to use the RCMA No Color Powder to set my under eyes. I'm just going to use whatever is in the cap, and I'm going to use the Real Technique setting brush. This is a great brush to set your under eye concealer. And I'm just going to lightly put this powder right underneath my eyes. So next I'm just going to lightly fill in my brows, just because foundation always makes them look a little bit more bald and bare, which is kind of scary in this viewfinder. So I'm just going to take the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'm in the color Ash Brown. I love the NYX brow pencils. They're very similar to the Anastasia ones. It's really pigmented, but because it is very waxy, it gives a very natural look because it's not too dark of a color. So I'm just going to lightly fill in my brows. I have pretty thick, very arched brows anyways, so I don't really fill them in too much. Just where the foundation really covers up my lighter hairs and makes the brow look bald and sparse, which is not flattering. So I'm just going to lightly fill in the areas where the foundation mostly covers up my brow hairs. So you can see it's not a huge difference. I didn't really change the shape of my brows or add too much of an arch. I just lightly filled in the natural shape of my brows and made them look a little bit more full. And I know you guys are still waiting on a brow routine video. That's probably one of my highly requested videos on my channel. I'm still really working with my brows. I'm not an expert when it comes to filling in my brows or even grooming my brows. I literally only pluck my brows, and I don't even clean up the messy parts of my brows. I like a more full and bushy brow. So I'll usually just pluck like the baby hairs that grow sparsely around here. I don't wax and I don't pluck near my brow line, just because I like a thicker, fuller brow, and I find that that works for me. So if your brows are more full and they look more natural, you'll have to use less product. So that is our brows done. We're gonna go back and finish up with our eyes. So back to the Milani palette, I'm just gonna take a very small shader brush. This is from Coastal Scents, and let's see, we'll go in with this darker taupey color and line our bottom lash line. I don't want to put too much darkness under my eyes because I want my eyes to look very bright and just fresh looking, but I also just want to lightly define my bottom lash line just so that it doesn't look too bare and too stark naked. So this darker taupe color is great for that. And then I'm just going to take a pencil brush and go in with that burnt orange color, just a little tiny bit of that color, just to smoke out our bottom lash line. And whenever I use a warm tone burnt orange color under my lash line, I always like to really smoke it out and really blend it out a long time, just so that it just creates a very natural warm shadow and not looking like you have a bright orange color under your eyes. So your eyes look very smoky, but it looks really, really natural. So you can see the orange just adds a little bit of glow and a little bit of contour to my lower lash line. So that is it for our eyes. I'm just going to apply a little bit of mascara. I'm going to be using the Maybelline The Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara. It's a great mascara. I really like the wand. It coats your lashes really nicely and gives it a little bit of definition. It's not a great mascara for lengthening your lashes, but to volumize them, I think this is a great mascara. So that is it for our eyes. It's very neutral, very simple, and wearable for the daytime. So we're going to move on back to the rest of our face. Because our eyes are so simple and neutral, I feel I can go a little bit more dramatic with my face makeup, but of course we're going to keep it very natural looking. So I'm just going to lightly contour. Again, I'm going to go in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD Concealer. This time I'm going to use the color Beautiful Bronze. It's obviously a very dark color and concealer color for my face, but this color is a perfect contour color for me. So I'm just going to squeeze some of the product out on my hand and really work it into the brush, as opposed to just squeeze some of the product out and apply it to my face. I feel like you get a lot of product and it always looks a little bit more messy that way. So I'm just going to draw a line from my ear down to the corners of my mouth. I'm going to have a more in-depth contouring and highlighting routine coming up really soon, because again, a lot of you guys have been requesting for it. So for today's video, I'm just going to do it really quick and you'll see what I'm doing. And then before that sets, I'm going to take Crown Brush's foundation brush. It's a little bit too small for foundation for me, so I like to use this as a contouring brush. I'm just going to pat this product into my skin and then lightly blend it out. So you can just see how natural this color blends out. It looks really scary when you apply it at first, but once you blend it out into your skin, it looks really natural. So this is my face uncontoured and this is my face contoured. And if it still looks a little bit too scary for you, just take your foundation brush or your foundation sponge and pat out the edges to blur out the edges some more so that there's no demarcation or harsh lines, and it makes the contour color and contour line even more natural. So there is the finished contour look. I love how this looks. It's so natural, yet my face is still just a little bit defined. So then again to the other side. I'm also just gonna lightly contour my forehead. So I'm just gonna do a small little mark there, and same thing, blend it out with the brush and then pat it out with your sponge to make the lines blurry, and it makes it all very natural looking. We'll contour our nose since we're contouring everything anyways, so just lightly on the tip. So that is it for contouring. I'm going to go in with City Colors Highlight Trio, but the trio that I'm going to use doesn't have a name to it, but it's definitely more bronzy and blush tones. You can actually use these as a blush or bronzer just to lightly dust over your existing bronzer, which is what I'm going to be doing in this video. So I'm going to take the color over here. Again, they don't have any names on them. But this is definitely very bronzy and golden tone. So I'm going to take this on a Target foundation brush. I love this buffer brush from Target's line. And I'm just going to pound some of the product onto the brush, tap off the excess, tap some of it off on my hands. And then I'm just going to lightly bronze up my face with this color just by pouncing it onto my cheeks and then blending it out. See how pigmented that went on? So this is definitely not a highlighting product, but I do love this trio just to add a little bit more of a glow to your blush and bronzer. So I'm just going to put this right onto the back of my cheeks, blend it out. I'm also going to apply this onto my forehead. So you just want to pounce it into your skin and then blend it out with the brush. So for blush, I'm going to use a very warm tone blush color to tie in with the warm colors that I have on my eyes. So for my blush, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the color Apricot in the middle. It gives your face a really nice lifted glow, and it makes you just look like you're glowing from within, which I really love. And I think the Apri-Cot color and the golden sheen to this blush is very complimentary of that golden bronzy color from the City Color Trio. So to finish up with the rest of my face, I'm just gonna highlight my cheekbones. I'm gonna use this middle color. This is on a Target highlighting brush. This came as like a 3-pack. So I'm just gonna put this right above that cream highlighter we put at the very beginning of this video. And it just intensified the glow and the highlight to our cheekbones. I mean, look at how pretty that glow is from this highlighter. I love these trios from City Color. I'm also just gonna take that color on my pinky and highlight the tip of my nose. And of course, right on my Cupid's bow. And lastly, we have our lips. I'm just gonna apply Revlon's Luscious Lipstick. This is their matte formula in the color Smoked Peach. This is literally one of my favorite lipsticks from the drugstore. It's this beautiful coral color that adds a lot of warmth to your face, but it's so wearable and I really like it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee right on top, just to add a little bit of nude to this lip color and a little bit of shine. This last step is completely optional, but if you want to make your lips look a little bit fuller or a little bit more plump, just add a little bit of a highlighter right to the middle of your lips. I'm going to take the highlighting wand from City Color again, but this time in the color Moscato. It's a very white-based pearly cream highlighter that's really beautiful and really pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. I'm just going to take this and apply it to the center of my lips and just blend it out with my fingers. So it's a very subtle glow to your lips, and it doesn't look like much, but it makes your lips look really full and plump. So that is it for our makeup look. I'm just going to set everything with the Wet n Wild's Photo Focus All Day Wear Setting Spray. Just shake it up and apply a few spritzes to my face. I really like this setting spray. The only thing I don't like about it is the smell. It's kind of like hairspray chemically to me. And then before the setting spray sets and dries on my face, I'm just going to take my highlighting brush again with the leftover product that's already on it. I'm not going to go into any more product, and just lightly brush it over where I applied my highlight, just to intensify the highlight a little bit more, make it last all day. But you don't want to pick up any more product just because you don't want to look too shiny with your highlighter. Just go over it with whatever product is left on your brush. Believe me, there is leftover product. So this is the complete and finished makeup look, guys. I absolutely love this makeup routine for the spring and summer. My skin just looks really dewy and hydrated and luminous and healthy, and the warm tones really plays well with my dark features, my dark eyes, and my dark hair. It just really brightens up and makes my skin glow even more using warm tones. I hope you guys like this makeup look as much as I do, and I hope you picked up some tips and tricks throughout this talk through video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys. You can even put this color right near your temple just for a subtle glow. And there you have it by itself, looking gorgeous. So again, for the other side.